Jason King from Wild Squirrel. For those of you who've been around for a while, for those who are new, every time we do a presentation, do not use your browser to save your passwords. Isn't that right, Dee? So, the reason is because, for everyone who hasn't heard this story before, the reason is because your browser stores them in a very well-known location. It's a particular file name, it's always the same. The directory structure is always the same, it's always in the same place. So if you open, say someone you don't know sends you an invoice and it's packed with nasty stuff, they get onto your thing, the first place they check is whether you've got your banking passwords stored in that file. And if you do, your bank account will be empty in seconds because it's all automated scripting. They go, they find the URL, they open it up, they log in and they transfer it to a crypto exchange, and that crypto exchange sends it overseas, bounces it through a bunch of different banks. There is no way, AFP, state police, no one is getting that money back. So do not store your passwords in your browser.
What about your MyGov?
Yeah, totally do that. That's awesome.
Okay.
That's a really good idea. Store your MyGov. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to be clear, don't. Right, just in case I didn't come across. Don't at all. None. Next one, please, Campbell. So, as Gav alluded to, we do CRM setup and support for small and medium businesses. And as I was saying to Gav, you know, it's all about keeping your client information in the one place, being able to leverage it when you need it, being able to have informed conversations. The number of times people have spreadsheets and their phone and emails and everything else and all this stuff is in different spots. You get on the phone with a client and they're like, I told you this yesterday. I emailed that to you already. You know, and missing people you haven't spoken to in a while. I mean, I don't know if it happens to you guys, but every once in a while we're like, oh man, I was supposed to call that person last week. There's no task, there's no management, there's no nothing. Until I started getting the CRMs and started using them properly, that's when things started getting a bit more organised. And there has been a noticeable improvement in how the business has been going based on using those technologies and using those capabilities. So here's the difference that it can make. I spoke about these guys last time, that was about a year ago. We ran this project for them. They had all sorts of problems. They're insurance adjusters. For the people who don't know, when you make a claim to an insurance company, sometimes they'll send out assessors. They will do interviews, they'll collect statements, collect evidence, and go back to the insurance company and provide an opinion or advice on how they should manage that claim. So these guys do that job. They had 6 different applications they were using, which is what I was saying before. Information was everywhere. Excuse me. File management problems, no integration, so they had to enter information 6 different times, 6 different places, customer updates, project tracking, cost management, sales reporting, all problems for them. So, the claim that looks finished but isn't. Now, for these guys, this was a very specific thing, but this would happen 3 or 4 times, maybe 5 times a year. So, the claim's investigated. The first report is then sent to the insurance company. Then they just wait on the insurer to provide feedback. Is the report enough? Does it have sufficient information? Are there any changes? Do they need further evidence? So the case goes quiet because they're waiting for feedback. Now they can't invoice until the case is closed. But because the case has gone quiet and they've got so much other work, they've got 6 different places to check, the invoice never happens. Yep. Sorry about that. The invoice never happened.
Bit of coastal pure water.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. It's even cold, even
Yeah.
better. The invoice never happens, and it crosses over a financial year. Well, a lot of large companies, certainly the tier 1s and tier 2s, BOQ would have been like this, Suncorp does it, not AGL, AIG. If you don't invoice FY25 until September that year, later that year, they've closed the books. There's no more invoicing. It's done. No more. Sorry. And they've lost the money. They just won't pay at the end of the day. So what happens next? The revenue's lost. So they were losing 10 to 15 grand a year just on timing issues for the invoicing because they didn't have the systems in place to understand, oh shit, this one of the 100 cases we do a month, this one hasn't been invoiced and it's 3 months old and it's May. We need to get onto that. It's knowing to follow up the agent. It's knowing to follow up the insurer. It's knowing that this hasn't been done. So 10 to 15 grand easily in lost revenue every year. Yep. So as I said, the illusion of organisation. They have files in Dropbox, projects and project management, expenses were all done in Harvest, emails were all in Outlook, and the emails weren't copied over. They had to go hunting through inboxes to do it. The notes, someone's head, if they haven't bothered to write them down. They obviously got to produce the report, they do the report, but if more information is needed and the insurer comes back, if that person's on leave or has left, those notes are gone. And then the case status lives in 3 places. You've got Harvest, you've got an Excel spreadsheet, and you've got their third-party platform that they use. Everything else is manual setup multiplies complexity. Everything was manually set up. So they had to create a case record for a new case. That was in a third-party system. They had to create the project. They had a line in a spreadsheet they had to do, and they had to put it into Harvest, which is a time tracking tool like Asana. You had to create a folder. That was in Dropbox. So you had to go to Dropbox and create the folder. You had to create the task that's back to Harvest, because you've got to do these other steps first. Back to Harvest, create the file and the structure. Reference numbers in the spreadsheet, set all the reminders up, and then tell the team through email, SMS, Harvest, you've been added to this project. Lots and lots of steps. And then to invoice it, basically all that in reverse. So, a bunch of different systems, a bunch of different places. Yeah. So here's what we did. Single management console. We deployed Zoho 1, so that has the CRM system in there. We have Zoho projects for the project tracking, time tracking, invoice management, project management. We had expenses for photos of receipts. Those expenses are automatically put on the project itself, so the boss can see this is how profitable this project was. From expenses, fuelage, time, everything, that full reporting on expense on project profitability. Automated invoicing and data consolidation. The data consolidation was one of the biggest parts for them as well, because now they can see in one place, either CRM or projects, where their data is, where their client's up to. And there's integration between the two, so they can just look at the CRM record and know, okay, that's the project, that's where it's up to. We've got monthly reporting or weekly reporting. These are emailed out. The time to create a new project is less than 5 minutes, down from about 25 before.
Too fast.
Yep, faster claim processing. Their return on investment was sub 3 months. And it was a decent project, so that tells you how much they were doing. Okay, next, please. Moving on, the other thing we also do is job management systems. We've spoken about these before. This will be more for Jack and Corey, about job management systems. If you're just a solo operator, it doesn't really matter. You can track your own time in Excel or in your phone, get your calendar done, no problem at all. But if you've got a couple of guys working for you, you need to coordinate where they go. You've got inquiries coming in, you've got an admin assistant who might be helping out with all your organisation. One of these really does make a difference, because you can see a whole job diary, especially things like ServiceMate has a job diary, all of the notes from the case, everything from that particular customer or that job is in the one place. You can print it out, you can have a look, add a snapshot, get it all done. ServiceMate in particular has a really good app for your mobile phones. It'll connect to CarPlay, so if you're driving around and you're in bundle and you need to get to Coolangatta, notify the client, hey, Corey's in his truck, he's on his way down, so he'll be there in 27 minutes. There's a link they can track to see where you are, so they know precisely to the minute when you're going to turn up. Now, how many times have you been told, oh, our window's somewhere between 8 and 12, and you sat there all day and they turn up at 1 o'clock, and you're like, mother, what's going on? You know, buy a watch. So, but this will tell, and they can track, so if they're at Woolies or if they're stuck somewhere, if they're at Woolies or they're stuck somewhere, they know they've got 25 minutes to get home. Cool, I go home, do this, finish that, I'm gone. So it does make a really big difference, especially in terms of that client relationship. If you can be told exactly when the tradie's going to turn up, golden for it. Yes, please. Cozzy. So, AI voice agents, this is something we do, as I said before, in conjunction with Blockstars. They have a platform called CallX, enables us to be really granular and really explicit about how we want the voice agent to interact with your CRM, with your job management platform, with other systems. What do you want it to say? We train it how to do, train it on your business. And it really does take away a lot of the admin. So for example, for real estate agents, if you've got 5 showings on a Saturday and 100 phone calls to make on a Monday, this thing can do 100 phone calls concurrently.
Something went wrong.
Could not have timed that better. So the AI voice agents, we're not going to go on about this because I'm running out of time and Campbell's waiting for Christmas to happen. So, and then when IT is driving you nuts, Wild Squirrel technology. There we go.
Yay.